Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to add and subtract complex numbers. So I guess it makes sense to talk a little bit about what is a complex number, at least how to describe one. Now, a complex number has the form a plus or minus, depending on the problem, bi, where I is imaginary. Now, a complex number has two parts. The a, or the number on this side, on the left side of the plus or the minus, is called the real number component. And you remember what real numbers are. Real numbers are just those numbers that are on a number line, basically. So the real number component. So let me write that in there real quick. Now the number on the right side of the addition or subtraction, that is called the imaginary number component. Let me write that in there real quick. There we go. And together, the a plus or minus bi actually together makes up what they call a complex number. Okay, so they have, again, real number components and imaginary number components. I'll have another video talking a little bit about where those came from and how they developed and that sort of thing. But for now, let's just go ahead and use the a plus bi form. Now, what we want to do in this video, again, is show you how to add and subtract these. So let me just make two random complex numbers. One, let's say plus 2i, and then let's add that to 3 plus 4i. Now I want you to make a couple of observations about these complex numbers. You might notice, for example, that one observation is that they are binomials. Okay? And if they're binomials, they will follow all the rules that you have with binomials. So if you're adding 2, for example, you want to add and subtract. In this case, I'll add the like terms. Okay, so let's just add the like terms. So in this step, these are just step 1, step 2. I'm going to add the 1 and the 3. I'm going to add the real numbered components. And then I'm going to add the 2i and the 4i, or the imaginary number components. And that's going to give me 4 plus 6i. And that's all there is to it. So again, just go ahead and add the real number components and add the imaginary number components. And you can guess that you're going to do the exact same thing with subtraction. So let's go ahead and do the subtraction example. And matter of fact, why don't we just use the same two complex numbers? So the first number, again, is 1 plus 2i. But let's subtract 3 plus 4i. So how would you subtract these if they were two binomials with, like, let's say, just two variables in there? Well, you would distribute the negative. And you're going to do the exact same thing here. So in my step 2, I'm going to say 1 plus 2i. I don't need these parentheses anymore. And then I'm going to subtract 3, and I'm going to subtract 4i. Okay? And then in my third step, I'm just going to subtract the like terms. So 1 minus 3, and then I'm going to say plus 2i minus 4i. Okay? And in my last step, that's going to give me negative 2, and that's actually going to end up being plus a minus, or just minus 2i. And there's your answer for that. Okay? I hope that was helpful. So again, the things you want to remember for adding and subtracting complex numbers is that basically treat the complex number, the a plus bi form, as a binomial. And then you want to add or subtract the like terms. Add the real number component and add the imaginary number component. Or if you're subtracting, subtract the real number components and the imaginary number components. Okay, I hope that was helpful.